Hi, it's Tracy with Steel Thistle Artistry. I did a painting and playing with it, and I just really didn't like an area. I've seen a lot of posts about people thinking everything's ruined and what do I do with all these ruined pieces. And the nice thing about alcohol inks is it's never really actually ruined, and so I'm going to show you what you can do if you decide you really don't like something. So I will just I decided I didn't just like the way that background was going, so I am just going to start erasing. And that's just the straight rubbing alcohol and a paper towel, and you can take almost everything off just super fast and easy. On freezer paper like this, you can only do it just so many times, and you got to be careful not to get it too saturated because it is thin plastic. So you're going to wind up getting all the way through there if you treat it too roughly. But, I mean, if that happens, it's freezer paper and all you're out is time, really. And a cautionary, if you're using black, this whole big black area, one drop. So it really goes a long way. And I tried to arch everything away from it, and I just decided I really did not like that look. So I'm going to be careful. I get my main guy done because I'm kind of liking where he's at. I don't want to go backwards. So I'm going to pull this out. And if you keep putting alcohol down, I'd let it dry between each little bit. You don't want to get the paper saturated, like I said, but you can get it all the way back down to white if that's what you think you need to do. I don't know that I need to take it all the way back down to white. I just need to give myself some space to rework that area that I just didn't like. Okay, so now I've got it pulled down to where I think I can have everything I want bleed through enough, and so I'll take my mixing solution here that has a little bit of a red tinge to it due to being used on other fun things earlier today. It's kind of sticky. It's a bit too sticky. I kind of have this Northern Lights vision in my mind for this. I don't know if I'll be able to pull it off or not, but I'm gonna try. This is that Bray Reese. Beautiful inks, terrible bottles. I've got a bunch of these bottles that I need to transfer all of them over into, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Then I'll be able to fit them in and hopefully they won't spill as easy. Due to some experiences I had today, working with some friends, it came to my attention that a lot of people put down too much ink. Really and truly, less is more. You can always pick up ink, like I've done here, but it's always better not to waste it in the first place, so just put it down, a little bit, and then you can add more to it. For those of you that watched the earlier video and commented on the squeaky toy, the raccoon drowned it today, so you won't hear that, you'll just hear them rattling stuff around. Do I like that? I don't know. Kind of. I think I need this like brighter here. I don't want this so dark. Let it soak for a little bit. Try to eat it. And then move some of that ink out if I can. Nope, not making that much either. So, back to the old trusty, I'm gonna wipe it off. I didn't get it down to pale enough, I think, underneath here is why I'm not getting as bright as I want. Because I didn't erase good enough to start with. Hey, you two, stop it. That looks a little bit better. I think laying the alcohol in between the two colors was probably a smart idea. Did it on the other one. Let's see, this is just playing with it, making it up as you go along. Enough of that. I know some of you were wanting to see how I got the details. I kind of gave it an overview on my video, but before this one. But here I'll give you a better idea. I found with this one I got a much softer effect because I put a little bit of metallics down there, and it actually gave me a pretty cool look. And then this was not intentional here at first. I had it just bleed into there and it wasn't coming all the way up, and it was kind of darker when I tried to take it to white. So I was like, oh, I'll just have it bleed in. But see, I do the marker with black because like I said, a tiny dot did this whole big mess. So I will usually use a marker to put down the basic black colors that I want to use. And you know, unless I want to do a really big area, I won't use the liquid black. I don't trust it. And today confirmed my distrust, so. And this is just not quite shaping up how I want it to be here. Not quite right. And then I'll just take a paintbrush. Again, don't use a good one because I'm doing a lot of stippling. And that's really hard on paintbrushes, so keep that in mind. And I'll start off on my areas that I need whiter because I've got a lot of ink on, or a lot of alcohol on this at first. So I want to start in my white areas, and it's going to pool and it's going to remove all my brush marks. You can see it moving around, I hope. And so that's why I start on the white areas, and I'll just kind of put the alcohol down on those, and then I'll just move around to my different areas. And as I see the alcohol stop moving, start to pool, then I'll start going back in here again, maybe pick it up, do a little bit more. because I want this brush almost dry before I go into the darker areas, because that's where I really need the brush strokes the most visible, and I don't want to pick up ink, I just want to subtly move it. So you got a lot of alcohol on here, you're going to pick up a lot of color like I've done here. I'm going to have it kind of like he's chaos and fun and potty. And here I'm starting to get drier now, so now I can go in to this area where I put my black down and it doesn't pick it up so much. I like to pick it up a little, but I don't want to leave it gray either, because then I'll just have to go back in and put more down, which, I mean, that's easy to fix if you get too much on there. Get some of this, some more texture here. It's kind of flat, it's almost too soft. And you know, you don't put down a ton of ink and, you know, make it all black. This was all black when I started, and then I took my, you know, my ink like I'm doing here and just, you know, this went from totally black to it's not quite so black, and you got texture and highlights and lowlights just built right in, so it makes it look like what you want it to be. And you know, you look at your picture, like this is my reference photo here, and my little Mork, and you know, and you just look where it's darker, where it's lighter, and try to incorporate that in as much as you can. You're gonna have to alter some things, or you know, guess some things, because my hand's in the way down here in the picture. But it, you know, you look at your light source. If you don't want the light source to be the same as there, then you have to figure out where your shadows are going to be, you know, that sort of thing. More ink, the alcohol off there. Once again, every time I go back in with alcohol, I just go back into my white areas. And I'm going over the same places just lots and lots of times. That's why my stuff takes so long, is I don't do big sweeping stuff except for the background. I do a lot of just this. It's slow, monotonous work, but I can see the changes I'm making with each one, and I don't know, I like it. Some people don't, I do. It's soothing in a strange sort of way. Like, I didn't like that. His ear didn't look really attached, and it's super, super black in the photo, so I can't really see the shading. I'm just kind of making it up here. So you'll do something and it doesn't look right. Well, blend it out a little bit. See if it looks better. If it doesn't, it's not too difficult to take it back to where you had it before. And maybe make the fur direction make a little more sense here. That might be my problem. And then even when I do my like crazy colors, you know, I will do the colors that are supposed to be for the animal underneath, and then I will add in the color on top. So if I wanted to say, with the last time I did a picture of him, I did blue, and so on these white areas, instead of coming in with just straight alcohol, it would be really thinned down blue, and so it would give that hint of blue all over it. And I still haven't decided if I want to do that on this one or not. I'm kind of liking it just the way it is, so probably not, but I don't know. I always say I'm not going to do something and then I do it, so no one knows. Not me, not anyone else. Alcohol. I mean, it's just little tiny bits of alcohol, little tiny bits of ink. It's a game of small amounts. And see how that just pulls right out because I got too much alcohol. So I gotta go back in here. And and just moving to the edge and stuff ends up incorporating a little bit of those outside colors into what I'm doing anyway. So that kind of ties things together. And it's also a little more realistic because when you have a light source, you know, it'll tend to reflect that color, if it's a colored light, onto whatever you're looking at. I don't know if I like that or not. Might bring that back down in, make his face a little more defined. Again, he's bleeding out too much there, I think. Or maybe not, we'll see. If I want to bring him back in and make him more defined, I'll just get a little bit of the darker and then come in and tap around what would be the edge of his face. Set up my line. Oh, took a little bit too much black there. Doggone it. Oh well, I can fix that. I'm going to go with a smaller brush. Or maybe not. I don't have time to look for it right now. Alright. Rinse it off. Yeah, I learned today that a little bit of those metallics mixed in. I had used the brush to try to flick some metallics on the board, and so it had some on it, not a lot, but some. And so when I picked up my color, since I was at a friend's house and I didn't have all my stuff right there, you know, my brush wasn't clean, and it just kind of softened the edges. So that was really actually a very happy accident entirely. I kind of really like that. Nice wet enough? Not, nope, nope, I gotta get wetter. So, but the only other thing that I could really tell you for tips is just going to be monotonous touch, 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 touch. Like on the eyes, I actually use my blending marker. I'll put down, like this was all really dark blue, the same color as this, and I put it, circled the eye, you know, in that, and drew my black center, and then I just went in with my little blending marker, and you can just pick up that color, and then it gives it depth because it's not all bright, it's not all black, it's not all blue. You know, it just gives your irises are not all one color. You know, they're mottled and marbled, and the blending pencil lets you get that look really easy. So you just put down whatever color you want the eyes to be, and then use your blending marker to pick it up. And don't do the whole circle necessarily unless, you know, the eye's got a lot of light, but you know, like the eyelid here, I'm saying the light source is coming from the top, so you know, the top of his eyes are darker. I just can't find a happy medium tonight. I'm either too much alcohol or not enough. And I'm just dripping it onto my brush off the side. I don't want to do it over top of the canvas because I don't want it to drip somewhere. I don't want alcohol to go, because that would always be my luck too. See, this is kind of dotty. I don't like the dotty. I want to come back in, give it some texture. So move those dots around. Place it with some lines as the brush gets dry. That gives you an idea. I'm not going to run this video really long. I'll add a picture of it finished at the end, but I'm basically just going to come in with some purples and try to make what looks like a night sky-ish. I don't know how I'll be able to pull it off, but at least I could kind of show you, you know, how to blend and get some texture. And yeah, this was just, I had a little bit of silver mixative on this brush, and from before when I was trying to flick some on the canvas to show some people I was with, and yeah, it really softened the edges, so I got lines, but they're not hard lines, so it's really nice. It gives this almost a velvety look. So that's my little tidbit to share with you today, and thanks for watching. Okay, I found a spot underneath here, so I kind of have to do color. So figured I'd turn it back on and let you guys see. It'll show up a little bit better anyway. What I was doing before was a lot more subtle, so it was harder to see the texture I was putting in. So I'll just show a little bit of it with the color, because then you can see when it's blending, when it's too dry or too wet. Gosh, why do I always mix those up? But see, it's really soft, and it's just, there's not much texture there. So I'm going to move over, let that dry a little bit, move on down here. And then I'll try that again. You know, and if it's really short fur, you do like this, you know, straight up and down stippling, and with longer fur, you do a little more of a pull for each time you put your your paintbrush down, so you can control how long it is. And even if there's layers, like, you know, I can make it up here, and then look, there's that bottom layer, and then there's this top layer here, so it looks like he's got, you know, different levels and layers in the fur. All depends on how in-depth you want to get with it. There, that gives you a better idea, so you could see a little bit better than you could with just the gray. And here it is, pretty much done. Thank you for watching.